Hello, Nikki Plague here. So, in my game, my character is supposed to be able to have a story for everything, basically, is one of the traits that was chosen when I rolled the dice. And another thing that they have is that you're supposed to be able to, if you have polymorph and you polymorph someone into something, you have to have some sort of experience with it, I guess. And so, oh dear, throwing the book. I wrote down which monsters, which beasts I have chosen for polymorph, and I figured, well, my character has a story for everything, so let's come up with those stories. Giant constrictor snake, giant eagle, giant octopus, giant scorpion. Okay, so Nikola. Alright, so me and my good friend, who is the son of the nobleman, we were really interested in this circus, or I don't know what it was really. I was really young. I guess it was a circus, which came to town. It had a bunch of odd, large animals. Very large animals. One of the animals was a giant constrictor snake. Another was a giant eagle. Its poor wings were clipped. And a giant octopus. And a giant scorpion. I don't think we ever got a chance to really interact with the scorpion, but we got to see it. And the only reason why we got to interact with the others was because my good nobleman son friend let me and a couple of my other commoner friends into the exhibits, into the holding cages for these giant creatures. He was really too accommodating for me. We were best of friends. He should not have trusted my other friends. They were not so good. But yes, so first thing first, we went and saw the giant eagle. It was still able to fly a little bit. It wasn't completely, handicapped by what happened. However, he wasn't able to fly near so far as normal. The poor dear. He also had a mate there. And they had some chicks. Altogether, they were really adorable. And I felt so guilty. Poor dear couldn't fly. But yes. Anyway, so we got to see the giant eagle, and he had some things we could toss and feed them. And they really seemed to enjoy it. And then we went to this tank that they had. And at first I saw it from a distance. I was like, oh, are we going to see the octopus now? He said, no, we're going to see the snake. I was confused because I didn't realize that snakes were also held in those tanks. And the snake was massive. And the tank was empty, which I realize now makes a lot of sense. But as a child, I was still confused. So we went up to the snake, and it was really sad, 'cause I didn't understand. Like, I still feel emotionally sad about it because it looked really, really bad. But I, of course, now realize it was perfectly normal. But it was shedding. It was shedding its skin, I believe, and there was just peeling scales all over it, and I felt so horribly. I thought it must be so sick. looking back on it now, I realize perfectly well that it was fine. It's just going through a natural process. But then I was just heartbroken. I was begging my friend, Mikhail, please, please, we have to do something. And he was just nervous about actually doing anything with the animals. He said to me, no, we can't. My father would destroy us all. Who knows what would happen? We can't interact with these things. What if they killed you? What if they killed me? Yeah. He had a lot more brain than I did at the time. Oh, and last thing we saw was the giant octopus. Or by ourselves. We saw the giant scorpion later on with the whole thing, but the giant octopus is the worst thing. And, oh, that octopus. So there was a little platform you could go up that I guess the trainers or whatever dealt with it. The trainers were the ones who dealt with it and fed it and all, and would go up onto the platform. And it's... Oh... This is when I learned that I was a very different person for being friends with the nobleman's son. Because evidently it was very common to hate the nobleman's son and anyone connected to the nobleman. Because my friends, we all went up to the top of the platform. We were looking down into the water, seeing the octopus swimming about. It was a little shy, but not too shy. I suppose if it was always around humans, it really didn't have a concept of fear of them. And my villager friends, my commoner friends, they pushed Mikhail into the octopus tank. Now, this tank was massive, because the octopus was massive. It was huge. Probably not yet huge. It looked huge to me. And Mikhail wasn't the strongest swimmer. So, they shoved him in, and he immediately began to panic. He could not stay still because he was in water and he didn't understand fully how to swim. He had just started learning. Thankfully, I knew how to swim fairly well. Not great, but way better than he could. And so I jumped in and started to drag him, and I don't know if it was like a game that the octopus played with the trainers, but the octopus grabbed onto his legs, and it snagged mine as well, and we were trying our best to get away, and it had its suckers on us, and we couldn't get it off of us. We were kicking and kicking and kicking. We were really panicking now because at first it was just a fascination. Oh, look at the thing. It's so huge. It's so big. Oh, it's kind of pretty. Oh, did you see it change? We were amazed by it. And then it had a hold of us. And we were terrified already because he couldn't swim. And we were panicking because he was in the water and he couldn't swim. It was, oh. We got away, clearly, as I'm still here. But, oh. Yes. Mikhail was okay after a little bit. We were hurt just a bit by the octopus. It didn't try to actively hurt us. It just grabbed a hold of us. also must have been well trained. Especially, I mean, who knows? It may have even been trying to help us. I don't know. Maybe trying to stop us from thrashing about. But we got up onto the platform. Mikhail and I were soaked through. And my friends, who I thought were my friends, were just laughing and jeering at us. Oh, look at your faces, you frickin'... You stupid nobleman. Ha! Just see you. See your absolute fear. They were mocking him for being afraid. Afraid of a giant creature. I felt so terrible. Because he invited me. I asked him if my other friends could join us. It would have just been me and him, and we would have had a grand time by ourselves. But I wanted my other friends to experience this. I was just a small kid at the time, and I didn't understand how cruel people could be. I got a very, very good lesson on how cruel they could be that day. After that, I didn't really hang out with my other friends that much. A little bit, but more often I spent time with Mikhail. He was my dearest friend. I loved him so. I love him so. I haven't seen him in forever. But yeah. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. But yeah. That's how I know about all those giant things. Oh yeah, the scorpion. We all went to see the official show. And to try to patch things up, me and Mikhail stood next to my other friends. When the octopus came out, they mocked him again. And I decked my other friend, one of my best friends from the group, punched him right in his face. And I was about to get in trouble. And one of the first things that would actually start making my friends hate me was, since I defended the nobleman's son, they got in much worse trouble. We hadn't told what they did. We were kind of pushed to tell them now. So we got in trouble in the first place for sneaking in. Then they got in more trouble for pushing him in. And even more trouble for mocking him. And I got rewarded for defending him. I wish I hadn't been. I'm glad I defended him, but I wish I wasn't rewarded. It was great for my mom. My mom... I love my mom. I miss my mom. I need to go back to see her soon. But yeah. Okay. That's the story of the giant creatures. Okay. Now that I've dropped out of Nikola, I don't know why I just gave her a slight accent. I don't normally give her an accent. Maybe I've decided she needs an accent. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. Maybe it's because I was watching the Try channel earlier. Got the Irish in my voice now. Just a slight touch. Still sound like an idiot. It's a terrible accent, I'm sure. Anyway, so yeah, that's me coming up with half of the creatures that's on my list. Maybe I'll come up with another story at another time, but that'll be all for today, because I've talked for a long time. So, I love you all. Thank you for watching. Like if you liked, comment to leave me a message, tell me what you think, ask me a question, subscribe if you feel like it, share. My brain died. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Bye-bye.